You know, one of the things I loved about Charlie, in addition to everything else that we've discussed, was that he was more than just somebody who would comment, still getting used to the past tense, on the news and, you know, articulate his viewpoints and my own, for that matter, on so many issues so effectively and compellingly. But he also wasn't afraid to talk about life and relationships and a man and a woman and how to be a good dad, like all those things. He knew that his viewpoints were important, that his opinions on those things mattered to young people listening to him. And he did not waste that opportunity. You know, when he was on, was it 2 weeks ago? It was very recently. I played for him a clip that I had seen of him online that I loved. I loved. He went on this smaller podcast and something about coffee in the morning. I can't remember, but forgive me, those guys. I did say it on the show. And they got into the subject of paying on the first date and who should pay. And we re-queued it up. Here it is.
Women want to be taken care of. I know this is like super provocative, but like deep down, they want a man to be able to provide for them financially.
Should a man pay on the first date?
100%. Like, what kind of a wuss beta male is splitting the check? But, like, who are you? It's like, I'm just sorry. It's I would go into debt and scrub dishes before a woman paid for it.
I split the check quite a lot.
So I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend you. You guys are great. That's incomprehensible to me. I think that's...
To me, I thought it was a great financial decision.
So from your prism, I totally get that. And like, you have really good financial discipline. I'm sorry, like I would be so humiliated if I find that to be like the greatest beta male like humiliation.
To save money?
To like the idea that a woman that you're trying to court. Now, if it's like a friend thing
as a first date, you don't even know if she's like
matter.
The qualities.
It does not matter. I'm sorry. By the way, that money you save is not worth the honor that you compromise.
It is such a big deal.
It's a massive deal.
The money you save is not worth the honor that you compromise. What a gem. How does he come up with that stuff? It was more than 2 weeks ago. It was August 6th. And at that point, he had just a little over a month left to live when we played that on my show, and we laughed about it together. You know, none of us knows how long we have. You lose friends, you lose family. It happens in slow, gradual ways, and it can happen suddenly and in horrific ways. And I always come back to the same place, and you guys have heard me say it, you know, the things that really matter in your life are within 15 feet of you. And those are the things that you should lean into, and those are the things that Charlie leaned into too. He loved getting out there on the road and going to college campuses. He loved coming on camera. He loved debating with people. He loved coming on our show and doing his show and doing the Turning Point events, which are so special and so influential and important. But he loved his family more than anything. He loved God. And that's what we should need to do. That's all we should do tonight. Lower your flag to half staff. Doug just texted me. Ours is down already. And hug your children and hug your spouse. And go to church this weekend or temple or synagogue or mosque, whatever you do. Say a prayer for everyone who's suffering because of Charlie's death, especially his family. And then we must move forward with priorities in place, with love front and center in our lives and connection and not too much time away from those who matter to us, right? Like have the family dinner, move things around to make it happen. Don't prioritize only your work. Make sure that valve gets some liquid in it, you know, fill up all of these valves and then move forward. You can't live in fear. He wouldn't have wanted that. He certainly didn't do that. You can't allow yourself to be consumed by anger. As Father Mike Schmidt said, anger is appropriate and we will feel it and it is righteous anger. But you can't stay mired in it for too long or you cannot function. You know, I said to my daughter, I've said to my daughter, who's of course, you know, very empathetic because she's a teenage girl, when other things happen, Don't take on every upset as your own. Don't take on every tragedy that you see in the news or around you as if it's personal, because it'll break your heart. Well, our hearts are broken right now. And for some of us and many of us, it does feel personal, this loss. So we need a time to grieve, and we need a time then to feel really angry. And then we need to move through those emotions and do something about it. Not violence, not ruining any commentator's life. For what it's worth, I know Van Jones a little. And I told you before, I wasn't blaming Van Jones and talking about that soundbite. I was trying to set the stage for what Charlie was doing this week. He's devastated too. Van's a good man. He's devastated too. So in any event, but the perpetrator should be held to account to the fullest extent possible under the law. And then we must take an honest look at what motivated him. I'm assuming it was a him. What was it? Was it just some nutcase? If it was a nutcase, we are not going to skip by yet another tragedy without institutionalization. I will go. I pledge to go to the White House myself and talk directly to the president about it. I promise you, that's what I will do. But what is it? We need to know what it is. And to know what it is, we need to catch the person. So it's all hands on deck. If you know anything, if you have any reason to believe it's someone you may know, or you've heard something, or you're in Utah, we have a lot of fans out there, contact the FBI. I have no doubt that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino will be all over this. We need to catch the person, and we need to find the motivation. We need to punish the person, and we need to punish the people who created the motivation, the circumstances that led this person to think he probably could walk into an arena and take the innocent life of a good and decent man. That's it. I'll give you the last news update before we sign off. Utah Valley University officials encouraged students who are still on campus or who had taken shelter in university buildings after the shooting to call for a police escort. Quote, "Police will come and escort you out of the building," wrote the university on social media. The kids there are still not safe. They don't know who committed this crime, and we must know. And I have faith in the law enforcement to find out. God bless all of you. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for making the show possible. Thank you for loving us. Really, thank you for loving us and making me feel loved and valued in this job that I do. I know Charlie felt that too. Gratitude toward his audience for giving him an extraordinary life. Vivek is right. What he did in 31 years so far surpasses what most people accomplish in a full and lengthy lifetime. Something about which his family can be very proud. I'm sure his mother, I didn't realize his mom was still around, but it makes sense. He's young, can be very proud. And when his kids are old enough, they will get to know their father, as Emily points out, through videos and through the rest of us who will make sure that he goes on living. That's how all of our loved ones go on living, through our memories and when we share them. All my love to all of you, all my gratitude as well.